everyone, welcome back to 996 The Howl. 3 wins in a row against the Kings Avalanche, and yes, against the Leafs. Another season sweep of the Leafs. Last year as well, they haven't lost to the Leafs since February 2019, a game which I attended, but an unbelievable game. Whenever the Leafs come into Arizona, or even Arizona just faces the Leafs, everyone's buzzing. It's an electrified game. So much anticipation for it. Fans are going at it on Twitter and all the social media sites. Just, I don't know why when these two teams meet, it's just a recipe for everyone wants to watch this game. A lot of tension. I'm sure Leafs fans, they usually don't care for these games, but I think some Coyotes fans really take pride in these games. It's a good measuring stick for the team. I'm sure the team always wants to put on a show when it's a highly touted team like the Leafs, who are an original six team, but also they have Austin Matthews, an Arizona-raised hockey player who was a bit quiet this game tonight, but unbelievable win by the Coyotes. 6-3, another 6-3 win. They won 6-3 against the Avalanche on Tuesday. They start off hot with Bukestad with a beautiful goal. For some reason, both Leafs defenders were on top of each other on the ice, leading to a clean break to the goal for Bukestad. For me, what I wanted the Coyotes to do was get a lot of shots on Matt Murray, see where he's at, see where his head is at. I know he came back from an injury maybe a month ago, so I wanted to see where he was at, basically, how he's feeling tonight. They had a pretty close game against St. Louis. I believe they won in overtime on Tuesday night, so Leafs had a big battle over there. So I wanted the Coyotes to come out strong, a lot of shots on goal, and test the Leafs. They didn't do that. They got the goal, but after that, they had one shot for about 15 minutes in this first period. They ended up in the first period with 2 shots. They came out of that first period down 2-1. The Leafs were all over them. They scored on both power play goals. They also had 2 posts on those power plays. So this game could have been broken wide open. And I think that's how you beat the Coyotes in certain games. We've seen this storyline so many times this season from a Coyotes point of view. They get like an absurdly low amount of shots in the first period. Usually they don't score, or they score 1 goal, and the other team just has all the possession, all the momentum, just dominates them. The Coyotes aren't engaged. They get nothing going for them. They don't even hit. Like, there's so many first periods throughout this season where that happens. And the way to beat the Coyotes is to make sure you score a lot of goals once you get them on the ropes. It was a whole period after the Coyotes scored to make it 1-0 that the Leafs had them against the ropes. You got to come out of that with more than just a 1-goal lead. Teams like Pittsburgh, I think, made it 3-0. Like Ottawa, maybe 4-1. Like Dallas, 4-0. There's some teams where they just put the Coyotes down in such a hole where once eventually the Coyotes get to start playing their way and their hockey, it's too deep of a hole for them to climb out. Unfortunately, or fortunately for the Coyotes, the Leafs didn't dig the Coyotes a big enough hole. It was 2-1 going into the second period. McBain with a fight against former Coyote Dryden Hunt. McBain, 3-point night. Great to see him having a great night. Maybe a bit quiet lately. He is on the 4th line, so we don't see him as a point producer and goal scorer, so it's always fun to see those grinder type guys. And he's a really young guy too, and a prospect as well, but great to see him get rewarded. Pretty sure that's a Gordie Howe hat trick with an assist, a goal, and a fight. Not sure if he got an assist. I'm looking over the score sheet now. I don't believe so. Just 2 goals. And the fight, I think that's even better than a Gordie Howe hat trick. 2 goals and a fight, better than a goal and assist and a fight. So it's 2-2. And then, the Cows are playing a really good hockey. The 2-2 goals on a power play by Jacob Chychrun. Go watch my Chychrun video I made a couple days ago. Just an overview of what type of player he is and why teams are calling and might pull the trigger for the big trading package that Bill Armstrong has for Chychrun. So they score to make it 2-2. The Coyotes are playing their game. They're hitting a lot. In the second period, the Coyotes played amazing. This is Coyotes hockey. Whenever chance they get, laying the body, making players pay the price for making plays. They were moving their feet. They were getting more shots on net. They had 9 shots on goal in the second period compared to 2 in the first period. And then near the end of the period, I felt the Leafs had a bit of a push. They ended that second period with a lot of momentum. Nylander had that partial breakaway. Big save by Vejmelka. Vejmelka loves playing the Leafs. Don't think he's lost yet against the Leafs. He couldn't have because he hasn't played in the NHL prior to last season. So he's undefeated against the Leafs. He is a Leafs blower. That's a bit funny. Going to the third period, I wrote down Keller was a bit quiet. I didn't hear Keller's name at all in this game. Even Schmaltz rarely heard his name. A rare night that Keller and Schmaltz don't get a point, even though the Coyotes scored 6 goals. Barrett Hayton, had a 3-point night. Getting ahead of myself a bit here. But they go into the third period. They get on a power play, and with 2 seconds left in the power play, J.J. Moser roofs it to make it 4-3, and then 2 empty net goals by McBain and by Barrett Hayton. Barrett Hayton capping off a 3-point night. Just lively at the Mullet Arena. A real Hodinger at Mullet tonight. We got some celebrities there as well with Vince Vaughn. Michael Phelps was there too. Just a great game. I know Coyotes fans are reveling in this win. They want this win. They wanted this win. For whatever reason, it is maybe a pity victory for the Coyotes. But I'm sure Leafs fans just going to wake up this morning, see the score, flush it down. They got more problems to worry about than just losing against the Coyotes. Want to also mention Timmins had a great game. 2 primary assists for the Leafs. Still unsure why they traded him. I know everyone says, if he went down to waivers, they would lose him. Yes, I agree. I know the rule, but they didn't have to put him on waivers. They weren't forced to. And even after trading Timmins, they sent Mayo on waivers anyways, like a week or 2 later. And then, yes, I know the Coyotes, that leaves them with 7D. If they sent Mayo down and kept Timmins, would have been 8D because they have 7D right now playing. But, you could rotate Stetcher and Timmins, see what Timmins has. It just feels a bit too soon. Feels like the team really gave up on Timmins. I don't know behind the scenes if Timmins wanted more ice time, if he wasn't going to be happy rotating scratches with a guy like Stetcher. We were scratching Nemeth for the early part of the season, but I know he's playing pretty good defensively. So is Josh Brown. So I understand I wouldn't really swap Nemeth and Brown for Timmins. They're completely different players. Brown and Nemeth are big body defensemen, defenders who I think the Coyotes need. So I agree, Timmins wouldn't replace them. But a guy like Valimaki, Stetcher, they're sort of offensive defensemen or defensemen that are both two-way defensemen. So there's options there. You could have sat Stetcher and Valimaki out for Timmins. See what type of player Timmins is because he's only played about 6 games in his career for the Coyotes. Just felt like it was giving up a bit too early on him. Could have filled the void eventually that we'll see left behind Chychrun and Gostisbehere, hopefully by the trade deadline. So, it was a bit sour to see Timmins have such a great game for the Leafs. I know he's getting a lot of points too in other games, playing with such a highly talented team in Toronto, but it's unfortunate, but happy the Coyotes got the win. I believe that's their 13th win of the season. 13, 16, and 4, just going off memory. Pretty unbelievable considering how this season was advertised to us. And even with the World Juniors going on, we're seeing Bedard with 13 points in 3 games. A lot of mixed feelings, but you always got to be happy for a win against the Leafs. So that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.